The Sansover Isidore celebrations took a sad turn on Monday when a massive landslide covered the dwelling home of a stout family there. An elderly man, an adult woman, and a child were trapped inside a home and covered by the mudslides. Kairi News was at the scene of the incident and caught up with Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit.
Persons should not venture towards Sansover at all. The more people can stay out of Sansover, the better for the operation. Already, Sansover is a very small community, and the roadway isn't very large. Plus, major landslide in the Morpo area that has blocked the road, and there's one community called Brown, between Sansover and Peter Sofia. So at present, Sansover is basically locked in, and therefore makes persons when to come to venture Sansover. But we have to be vigilant, all of us across the country, because we will certainly be getting a lot of rain in Dominica, and of course we are prone to landslides, and now we have to be very careful. But it's a unfortunate accident in Sansover, and as Mr. Savage said, today is a feast day. People are looking towards to celebrating, but that has changed as a result of the landslide. But all the major operators are in Sansover to assist in the process, and people will mobilize very, very quickly. So I want to commend all those persons in the local nurses here, the police, Castle Rose, and elsewhere, the ambulance personnel, people, the local disaster folks in Sansover. They all mobilized very, very quickly, and were able to do a number of things, especially to transport the young lady to the health center and eventually to the hospital. So basically, we're waiting for the heavy equipment to arrive to assist in the clearing and to see whether we could locate the three bodies.
Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit speaking to Kairi News at the time of the incident. Meantime, Government Minister Charles Savra gave an account of what transpired.
There was a landslide, a major landslide, at the end of the village towards the fisheries landing site, and that slide completely took away a house which is at the end of the village. And there are 3 persons unaccounted for. There was one young man who managed to jump out of the house, a young lady by the name of Celia Stout, who was out of the house. She was struck by a stone and has been transported to the Princess Margaret Hospital. At the moment, 3 persons are unaccounted for. That is Mrs. Flowers Stout, who is 76, Mr. Etienne Stout, who is 43, and Jael Stout, who is 5. The police have been alerted. The SSU is here. The fire brigade has been alerted. They are here. The Red Cross is here. And the persons are seeking to clear rubble and bits and pieces of the house which has been totally destroyed, in the hope of being able to find somebody. We have also alerted the public works and other persons of heavy equipment in an effort to get equipment on site to help with the clearing. The equipment is en route but has not yet arrived. The Office of Disaster Preparedness has been alerted, and all of the possible persons who can assist have been alerted and are here. The Prime Minister is here, Minister Austro is here, the PAL Rep is here, Johnson Trigo, as is the PAL Rep and Minister of Education from Lafrine is also here. And we've established a command center at the Sansover Primary School so that we can be in touch with what is happening both on site and the organization that we are putting together to bring resources into Sansover in an effort to seek to see if we can recover or rescue the persons who are missing, presumed covered in the slide.
Meantime, parish priest Father Elvio Augustine says the Mass was able to get underway, but every event after that was cancelled.
We've been able, however, to proceed with the Mass, but we had to change and modify the program. We celebrate the Mass for the intention of those who were covered under the landslide. And in spite of the kind of dismal spirit that exists, both in terms of the weather and what has happened, the people were able to celebrate the Mass with hope. And it was a really heart-lifting, spirit-lifting celebration of the liturgy. And we had two other priests with us, Fathers Nigel Karam, who served here for 1 year, and also Father Colin Chillingford. The three of us, we celebrated together and we prayed with the faithful who came to Mass. We were supposed to have honored Father Jean Martin, who served as parish priest in this parish for how many years, from Antrezel all the way to Peter Soufriere. But given the weather situation, they were unable to come. However, and each church community was supposed to have offered him a token of their appreciation, because as we know, Father will be leaving our shores to go back to his homeland. But however, they still came and they have still offered it up, and I have taken it on his behalf, or received them on his behalf. And very soon, without much delay, I shall deliver his gifts to him by the people, or from the people. We hope that the day's proceeding, which is downplayed, all the activities that we had intended to have, we had to cut off much. But hopefully, in the not too distant future, we hope to be able to have some activities so as to raise funds to refurbish and to renovate our church. We want to be sensitive to the situation as is right now, which is one of sadness and sorrow. People's spirits are down, and we want to respect, the grief and the loss of those, who have perished.
Parish priest Father Elvio Augustine. Kairi News can now report that the bodies have all been found, but dead. India's High Commissioner to Dominica, Malay Mishra, says several scholarships both in the field of skills and academics are available to Dominicans wishing to study in India. The High Commissioner has had the opportunity to meet with several ministerial heads, including the officials of the Ministry of Health, Agriculture, Trade and Small Business units.
We have a long-standing program of capacity building, what we call the Indian Technical and Economic Cooperation Program, ITEC. It's acronymed as ITEC. Under that, we have been providing 5 scholarship training slots. It's actually training which we are building kind of skills. It's a skill building program, and we traditionally have been giving 5 slots, and these are entirely funded by the Government of India. Airfares are borne by India. The cost of tuition, the hospitality, lodge board, everything is looked after by India. We have told the government this time that these slots could be optimally utilized, because these come in various areas. We have about 100 such training programs through the year. Our training year is April to March, and for this year it has already begun. April 2010 until March 2011. We have given the details to the government, and through I think the Minister of Foreign Affairs will send out this information. This is one aspect of our training program. The other is on scholarships, which we give long-term scholarships, but these scholarships are given for some select kind of courses, particularly on humanities and arts, management, but not as much on medicine or on technical other areas. So these are rather limited, but we could offer this kind of scholarships also to people who are interested to avail of them. Here, for the scholarships, the government has to find ways of providing for the airfares, because they come only for the tuition and local costs, which is borne by the Government of India.
India's High Commissioner to Dominica, Malay Mishra. He added that India will lend experts and technologies in the different field of small enterprises in Dominica.
We have a long-standing program of capacity building, what we call the Indian Technical and Economic Cooperation Program, ITEC. It's acronymed as ITEC. Under that, we have been providing 5 scholarship training slots. It's actually training which we are building kind of skills. It's a skill building program.